So in this video, we're going to be talking about naming chemical formulas. Okay, so when we have a formula, such as NaCl, or H2O, right? What are their names, right? Or CaCl2, right? What are their names? So this is what we're going to be working through. So these are chemical formulas. You remember they're compounds, right, made up of more than one element, right? More than one atom here. So let's start with NaCl. So we have NaCl. What is its name, right? And what we can use to find out the name is this right here. Okay, so this is the flow chart that I gave you, right? And it has how to name formulas, right? And on the other side, it has how to write formulas. So with this, and in combination with a periodic table, you can go through and name different chemical compounds. There's a lot of kind of rules to naming a chemical. Like you have to determine, is it ionic or covalent, or is it a hydrocarbon, is it an acid, and then depending on that, it has a different name and so on. We're just going to work on naming them using these flow charts right here. So you don't have to memorize all the rules, but you kind of just need to understand what's going on. So we're going to use this flow chart here, the naming the formulas one first, and then we'll work on this one in another video. So this flow chart starts right up here. This is the first question. This is where we always start. This is step one. Right? And the question is, does the formula start with H? Okay. And remember, we're working on NaCl right now. So does it start with H? No. So I go here. All right, the next question, does the formula start with metal? With a metal, all right, or with metal? So if I, did not need to do that. So if I come over to my periodic table here, this is my ion one, because that's useful in naming compounds too. And I remember that right here is my stair step. And everything left of the stair step is a metal. I'm sorry, that's kind of hard to see. And everything right of the stair step is a non-metal. Okay. Well, if I go and find, and so let's, sorry, I'm doing NaCl, right? So this is what it starts with. This is the first element in the formula. That is right here. All right, I found it. It's right there. So according to this, because it's left of the stair step, yes, it is a metal. So look at this. Okay, does it start with a metal? Yes. And so then this tells us it's a salt, right? And here's the steps that I need to name it. So separate the cation from the anion. And remember, the cations are the positive, the anions are the negative. So sodium is my cation, that's the positive one, and my anion is chlorine. And kind of the way you can see what the different elements are is if you look at your formula, right here, here's a capital, right? Here's another capital. And so elements are separated by those capitals. Right? So NaCl, separated. Okay, so I did that. The next thing is, all right, so these are kind of steps that we go through. There's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So the next one is reverse crisscross. And here it doesn't really matter, but we'll do examples where it does. But because of these elements are here, right, technically we can say that there's one atom of each, right? And what the crisscross method is you can use this to find out what the charge is for an ion. So this is a 1 plus, right? And this is a 1 minus. And we know that from the chart also. So we did the reverse crisscross. So we have Na plus, Cl minus. The next step, I'm going to zoom out a little here. The next step is name the cation first. Right? Use Roman numerals when necessary. So this is Na plus, and if I look here, the name of this is just sodium. And so, sodium. And then the next step is right here. Name the anion last. Okay. So I come here. It's a Cl minus, and for ionic compounds, so things made of ions, I can use this chart, this periodic table. And so you can see here that it's not named just chlorine, it's named chloride. Okay. It's named chloride. That's the name of it. So any ion, if you look, they're all IDE, right? Phosphide, sulfide, bromide, chloride, fluoride. Okay. And that's because they are anions. All right, so sodium, and the next one is chloride. And there we go. There's the name. Sodium chloride. Let's do more examples. So let's get rid of this. All right, I'm going to get rid of my little markings here. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, CaCl2, calcium chloride. So remember, up here, this is step 1. Does it start with H? Does it start with H? All right, CaCl2 does not start with H. Does it start with a metal? Look at my periodic table here. Right. Ca is right here, calcium. So yes, it does start with a metal. So now I go here, and I go through the same process. All right. Separate the cation from the anion. Well, capital, so they separate here. CaCl. Now this is a 2. So again, reverse crisscross. So this comes here, and this becomes a 2 plus, and the 1 that's down here comes up here, and this becomes a 1 minus. So I'm going to rewrite that. Okay, and then we name the cation, the positive one, first. So I go to my ion table. Ca2 plus is right here. That's calcium. So Cal, calcium. And then we know Cl1 minus is chloride. So calcium chloride. Good job. Okay, so let's do one that is not so simple. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, so we go through our process again using the flow chart. Does it start with hydrogen or H? No, it does not. It starts with Fe. Does it start with a metal? The answer is yes, it does. Fe is iron. Iron is right here. Starts with a metal. All right, so remember, I'm going here next. Separate the two. Okay, well, capital, okay, and these are together. This is polyatomic ion. So I'm not going to separate it three ways, just once. So then I have Fe and NO3, 2. Okay. Now we're going to do the reverse crisscross. So this goes here, and the imaginary one here goes there. And so I end up with Fe 2 plus and NO3 1 minus. Now I find these on my ion chart. So Fe2 plus. I found iron, it's right here. Okay. And it's right there. And if I look, the Fe2 plus is iron 2. You see the Roman numeral after it? 2. That's because iron can have multiple ion states. I'm drawing in white, you can't see it. So iron 2, iron 3, iron 1 even. And so that's why we reversed crisscross, because now I can know that this is iron 2. This 2 represents the charge. And then NO3, let's go find that. Well, since it's made up of more than one atom, I know it's a polyatomic ion. And so I look for polyatomics up here in this box. So look, boom, NO3 1 minus is right there. See? NO3 1 minus. And so that tells me its name is nitrate. So we can zoom back out here, come down here, and it is nitrate. So iron 2 nitrate. That's the name of this chemical compound. Okay, fun times. I love naming chemicals. All right, so let's do some more. We're going to do one that is not made up of ions. Let's name water. So the common name is water, but if we follow the naming conventions, we'll let's not do water because it does start with H, and that goes into acids. And so we're not going to do water for right now. Don't worry about that. Let's do something else. Let's do C. Yeah, let's do CO3. So again, we start here, step 1. Okay. Question is, does it start with H? No. So then we go here. Does it start with a metal? Well, carbon is right here on my periodic table, element number 6. I always do that, going the wrong way. All right, so I can see that no, right, it's not a metal. It's on the right-hand side of the stair step, not a metal. So instead of going this way, I am now going this way. There's an extra question here: is it made of only carbon? This should say only, not mostly. Only carbon and hydrogen. See other page. This is for hydrocarbons that we're not going to cover right now. So we can ignore this right now. So no. Does it start with NH4? I'm going to zoom in because we haven't done this side yet. Does it start with NH4? Nope, it's CO3. So it doesn't start with NH4, so no. So I'm going this way again. Is there more than one atom in the first element? Nope, C, right? There's no number here, right? There's no subscript, so there's not more than one. So no. Name it. Element name, number prefix, element root, IDE. And what does that mean? Well, first, element name. So this is carbon. Okay. Then we have 3 oxygen. So number prefix is next. That's what it says. Number prefix. That's what the hashtag is number. So number prefix, if we come up here, okay, these are my number prefixes. And this tells you what needs Roman numerals. So like the iron 2, just as a little side note. But here's our number prefixes, and the prefix for 3 is right there, tri. So we say tri, number prefix, word root, which is ox, and then IDE. So carbon trioxide, just like CO2, that's a 2, is carbon dioxide. If we look, Di or di is the prefix for 2, right? And that's where it comes from. So CO3 is carbon trioxide. All right, let's do at least one more example, okay? I'm just going to get rid of my scribbles here. All right, so let's do something fun. Let's do N2O3. What is that name? N2O3. We can figure it out by using our flowchart. So again, step 1, does it start with H? No. Does it start with a metal? Well, nitrogen is right here on the periodic table. That's a non-metal, so no. Does it start with NH4? Starts with N, but not H4, so no. Is there more than one element, more than one atom of the first element? Yes, I have 2. So now we go this way. Prefix, element name. So I remember from talking about carbon dioxide that the prefix is di for 2. Element name would be nitrogen. It doesn't need to be capitalized. So di nitrogen. Element name, not ion name, so I'm not going to put nitride here, just nitrogen, dinitrogen. And then again, prefix, element root, IDE. Well, oxygen we've kind of already done, right? And 3, we've figured that out too. Tri, oxide. So dinitrogen trioxide. On these element roots IDE, okay, you can actually use your ion chart for those things. Because see, here's fluoride, oxide, nitride, phosphide. Just make sure you use it at the correct time for it. Let's see. Well, let's do one more example. I want to do one more example here. I'm going to think. Oh, so here's a tricky one. CA C2 CAC2. So if we come here and get rid of my scribbles, and we can work through this. So does it start with H? No. Does it start with a metal? Calcium is right here. That's left of the stair step, so it is a metal, so yes. Okay. Separate the cation from the anion. Capital, capital, separate. So Ca, C2. Reverse crisscross, so 2 goes here. That 1 comes here. And so we have Ca 2 plus, and actually a C minus. Right. Now look on the periodic table. We named the cation first, so calcium. And then we name the anion second. And if I look on here, it's not very common for carbon to form an ion. Okay. And so the ion name actually isn't up here. It just says carbon. But you can figure out the ion name the same way that we do here. That's why you can't see it. The same way that we do here. Element root IDE is the way that you do an anion. That's the way you name an anion. So element root would be carb, and then IDE. So calcium carbide would be the name. And there we go. So hopefully that was helpful. We're going to be doing more examples in class. This is just for you to refer back to if you need to remember how to do things. So again, I hope that was helpful. Have a nice day.